I want to deal with the biblical question. Anybody know what the biblical question this week is?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Anybody want to respond to it? In the hat.
I'm not sure what it was.
You don't know what last week's biblical question? Well, you can't answer that, huh? Right here. What was the question?
What is your greatest fear?
Yeah. What is your greatest fear? And everyone on this side of heaven has it. Some people working on it, but everyone has a great fear. I had a conversation with Joe L. this week about it, and it was so interesting. It was deep. And so what is your greatest fear?
You know, I've pondered this question quite a bit over the last week, and I don't face my fear. Like, before being awake, I'm like an ostrich. I just put my head in the sand. I don't think about fears. I don't think about things that I should be fearful of because I don't want to. So, you know, and I just bury my head in the sand. Traditionally, that's how I've been. So I can't think of a fear per se because I don't face.
And why don't you face them? And how will you get better or become free if you don't face it? Why don't you face it?
I just wait until they're in front of me.
But
like, I don't think about, oh my gosh, I'm afraid I'm going to die, for example. Even though if I thought about it, that makes me a little bit afraid because I don't know what to expect. But I don't think about it. Therefore, I don't have the fear because I choose not to entertain that. And that's how I've always been, like, and to a fault, to a fault.
So you choose not to face your fears?
Until they're in front. Now, if they're there, I'll face them. Once they're there,
but if
there.
they're not there, how are you choosing not to face them?
I don't think about them.
You don't think about them?
I don't.
So you don't know what your greatest fear is?
I honestly don't. I don't have one.
Oh,
like,
you
I
have
used
one.
to. Okay.
Oh, you have one.
I do. I know.
Everybody and their mama have one.
Well, okay. For example, I used to be so afraid for my mom. I used to pray to God, when my mom leaves, Lord, please take me with her.
Will your
let the
mother
rapture take
expire?
place. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you want to go to hell with your mama?
Well, I don't think she's there.
Where
Jesse.
you think she is?
If there's a heaven, I know she's there.
So
I believe there's a heaven, and I
So
believe
you
she's
don't
there.
think your mother's in hell, but you think she's in heaven?
Yes.
But why do you think she's in heaven but not hell?
Because I don't think there's any reason she would have gone to hell.
Really?
No,
Wow.
at all. She did a great job. Come on, Jesse.
So, which is easier to think, she's in heaven or hell?
I cannot imagine that she would be in hell.
Really?
I cannot even imagine that. That's what I mean. I don't face things like I don't entertain that.
And what would happen if you entertain mama might be in hell?
I'm not feeling that in my spirit. It just doesn't resonate.
Amazing. Why not think of it either way? She could be in hell or heaven. You don't know. Because you really don't know. It's just a thought, but you don't know.
I don't think like that. I can't bring myself to think like that.
Really? You can't bring yourself to think, well, I don't know where she is.
No.
What would happen if you left a blank space?
I don't think anything would happen.
But do you know she's in heaven?
I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure.
So why not leave it as that then?
I agree. I think that's a good idea.
Because if you think she's in heaven, it's just a thought that came from the devil.
I agree.
I watch these on Sirius, I think, not Sirius, but I watch these shows about these people who, entertainers and things like that, and they do autopsies on them after they die to find out why they died. And they have miserable lives, right? Just like we all do who are in a fallen state. But after they die, everybody said they're in heaven.
Right.
I'm like, that person was in hell. What made you say they were in heaven? While they're on earth, they were in hell, living a hell life, right? But when they died, they're in heaven. I bet that heaven is so empty up there. But anyway.
So, well, what makes you think she's in hell?
But I don't know.
Okay.
No, I always hear people say everybody's in heaven.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I went to a
Yeah.
funeral once, and a family member died, and nobody liked the family member when they lived, right? Nobody liked the family. They hated to see him coming. But when he died, everybody there at the funeral crying and carrying on. And everybody got up and lied about how much they loved the person, and they know he's in heaven. And so I got up there and said, I don't know if this person's in heaven or not. Y'all lying. You didn't like him when he was living. Now you're going to put him in heaven on God?
My mom was lovable, though.
Oh, yeah?
Had great, yeah.
That's your daddy.
She wasn't like that guy you're talking about.
But anyway, that's not important now.
I know.
Yeah. But, and so you don't know what your greatest fear is?
You know, Jesse, I know I have them. Trust me, I do. But I don't, I'm very Pollyanna-ish. I really am, to
Okay.
a fault. Like, I've been reprimanded over that in the past, just because I don't like my mind to go there. So I seriously do bury my head in the sand. That's something I need to work on. I know
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
I know that.
Well, at least you know that.
Yeah, yeah.
And you need to work on it for sure.